Hello, this is Megan.
And this is Mark.
Welcome to our fourth part of the Marvel Line construction at Disney California Adventure Park. Today is August 24th, 2019.
Alright, before we dive into the actual construction, we are at the D23 Expo, and one thing that Disney will be showcasing is Marvel Land updates. This will give us a better understanding of the layout and more theming details of the attractions. And as you can see, there's a section of the convention center designated to showcase this. To start it off, Disney revealed the official name for Marvel Land. It'll be called Avengers Campus. The backstory for the land is that the Avengers Campus will be a training ground for a new generation of superheroes, a laboratory for innovative hero technology, and a forum for inspiring ideas about how to protect Earth. And it's really cool, the campus in the land's official name is actually an acronym standing for Centralize, Assembly, Mobilize, to Prepare, Unite, and Safeguard. Next are displays showcasing the different aspects of the land. First of all, there's an awesome concept art displayed showing the layout of Avengers Campus. This gives us a good idea of what it'll look like after the construction's complete. We have a good look at the Spider-Man building, the Doctor Strange show area, Avengers headquarters, and Ant-Man and the Wasp restaurant. They also had on display a model of the layout of the land as well. An Imagineer was on hand explaining some of the details.
So this is our Avengers campus, and so the Avengers have come together to bring in new recruits to train as new superheroes. And so this building is the Worldwide Engineering Brigade. And so that's Spider-Man and all of his friends that are helping to showcase their new technologies. We have the Mystic Arts Plaza, so that's Doctor Strange and all of his friends that have come together to train up. Over here with the Quinjet parked on the roof is headquarters, so that's where Iron Man and all of his friends are stationed. And then right here is PIM Technologies, so that's Ant-Man and the Wasp. They've all come together to showcase all this new tech that's being showcased. And then this is the existing Guardians of the Galaxy building. So we've got three main entrances to the land. We have Hollywood Land, which is right over here. Cars Land, that's the bunker entrance. And then from the upstage parade route, that's our main entrance into the land as well.
Here's a map of the different locations where Avenger theme areas will be located, such as the Stark Expo in Hong Kong, Avengers Campus in Paris, and of course the Avengers Campus in California, where we're at. Also on display at the convention was a very cool looking websuit. As an Imagineer put it, ultimately the Worldwide Engineering Brigade wants to invent new tech for new heroes. But for the first project, we thought we would practice by focusing on one hero in particular. We partnered closely with Spider-Man to engineer some great enhancements to his suit, and we're already applying some of those inventions to our awesome new project that will debut at our upcoming open house. So basically, guests will enter the Spider-Man attraction through a web open house where new enhancements to the Spider-Man suits will be on display. And during the attraction, it appears that guests will be using hand gestures to sling webs at targets, such as spider-like droids. The spider-like droids are called Spider-Bots, standing for Scan, Procure, Destruct, and Replicate. They have multi-tool legs, including a plasma cutter, screwdriver, welder, and circular saw. A model of the Quinjet was on display as well. As you can see, rooftop shows will be incorporated into the land. That'll be a nice touch. We also learned more about the PIM Test Kitchen themed to Ant-Man and the Wasp. Imagineers said that PIM Technologies may serve beer, but this location is not expected to house a microbrewery, as we first thought. It'll serve food that has been shrunk or expanded into size. Red pin particles reduce the size of things. And here's some things that have been shrunk that's on display. I like it, it's a small world trash can. It truly is a small world after all. And blue pin particles increase the size of things. A giant pretzel and a 4-foot tall can of Pingo Doce, a soda with a kick, was on display. This fictional drink shows up in Marvel comics and movies from time to time. There's a good chance that this green fictional drink will be available when Pym Test Kitchen opens. Also on display is a Vailu, which can be found in the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction. We really enjoyed our time at the expo. We really learned a lot. Let's go into California Adventure next to see what has changed since the last time we were there. A new building is starting to go vertical. Now this is what the area looked like last time we were here. A concrete boom pump is adding concrete to a wall footing. Now it dissolve the picture back to what it looks like today. And this is really cool. This new building that they're making will be the Avengers headquarters building and will eventually serve as the future entrance of an e-ticket attraction. And here's what the building will look like once it's finally done. A few weeks ago, we thought that this location was going to be the Doctor Strange show area. But after attending the D23 Expo, we have learned that this building going vertical is clearly going to be the Avengers headquarters. The Doctor Strange show area, the Mystic Arts Plaza, will be located in front of the building, approximately here. Next, we'll go on the stairs of the Hyperion Theater to see what we can see from that perspective. The Avengers headquarters building can be seen. And if we look down, we can see that the bricks and concrete around the trolley tracks have been removed. And as we can see, boards have been put on top of the tracks to protect them from the construction. More purple sheathing has been added to the Spider-Man building, and if you look closely, you can see an opening between the sheathing. This area will be for a window and can be recognized on the concept art.
Today is August 26th, 2019.
Behind Cars Land, a crane is lifting beams for the Avengers headquarters. Now they're being lowered to be put in position. We'll go on Pixar Pal Around to see what we can see from that perspective. As you can see, workers are in the process of putting beams into place. Over by the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction, we can see that they're continuing to lift beams for the headquarters. And here the beams are being lowered into place. Now another beam is being lowered to be put in position. Notice that the worker is using a sliding beam anchor, which is a fall protection device. One of the workers is signaling to the crane operator to keep lowering the beam. Now it's where it needs to be.
Today is September 7th, 2019.
More framework has been added to the Avengers headquarters building. The workers on top are welding posts into place for a safety railing. If we look over to the left, we can see that steel decking has been laid out on the roof of the PIM test kitchen building. This is what it looked like last time we were here. Stacks of steel decking are on top of the building. On August 3rd, these stacks of decking were transported to the top. I'll go ahead and dissolve the picture back to what it looks like today, with the decking laid out in position. Roofing supplies have been put on top of the Spider-Man building. These look like there are stacks of insulation boards. From the ground level, we can see that more sheathing boards have been brought in for the walls of the Spider-Man building. Now we're located in Carsland, and in the distance, we have a pretty good view of the Avengers headquarters building. Workers are continuing to weld posts into place for safety railings. Here we have a pretty good view of the beams that have already been installed for the building.
Today is September 14th, 2019.
Workers are in the process of adding decking to the headquarters building. From this perspective, a worker is in the process of welding beams together.
Today is September 21st, 2019.
First, looking at the Avengers headquarters, the decking on the second level has been laid out. Now if we look over at the PIM test kitchen building, a fresh concrete slab has been added to the ground level. This worker here is using a bull float to level ridges and fill voids left in the concrete. And this worker is using a hand trowel to put a smooth finish to the concrete. Notice that the concrete slab was only added to the inner portion of the building, and not where the patio area will be. If we compare this to the concept art that we saw at the D23 Expo, this is the entrance to the inside of the building. In the same spot on the actual building, this is the entrance right here. These cellular beams that we see on the concept art can be recognized on the actual building, and they're located right here. And the temporary support bracing for the cellular beams that we talked about in a previous episode have been removed. This is what it looked like last month. The support bracing is there. As I dissolve the picture back to what it looks like today, also notice that the building in the foreground, which is the Web Suppliers building, has more side framing added to it. Since you're done with the concrete boom pump, the arm is being folded up.
Today is September 26th, 2019.
The perimeter fence surrounding Avengers Campus has been moved back. Now we can see the new bricks that have been put in place. This is what the bricks look like before, and I'll dissolve the picture back to what it looks like now. Next, we'll go over to where the Spider-Man show building is located to see what we can observe from there. Here we can see that workers are in the process of installing support posts for the HVAC system. These type of posts are commonly used for duct support. Now if we look in front of the workers, the wall that is in the process of being made is really coming along. This is what it looked like a couple weeks ago, and I'll dissolve the picture back to what it looks like today. This area of the building can be recognized on the concept art, and it's this portion here. If you look closely through the debris netting, you can see a new black layer that has been added over the wall sheathing. This is basically a wall membrane. It's ideal for protecting the building by minimizing air and water vapor flow through the building exterior. And it also enhances thermal performance of the building and reduces energy costs. As we saw last week, steel decking was put in place on the second level of the Avengers headquarters building. A worker is in the process of removing some of the leftover segments. If you look closely at one of the horizontal beams of the building, you can see writing on it. We'll get a different angle so we can see it better. A lot of people have signed the beam. More than likely it's the electricians, ironworkers, and Imagineers who are working on the project, and possibly other cast members as well. This actually reminds me of the tallest spire in Galaxy's Edge. Cast members had the opportunity to sign the beams of the spire before it was lifted into position. That was a really nice touch. Alright, next we'll go on Pixar Pal Around to see what has changed since we were there last. If we look over towards the Spider-Man show building, we have a good view of the support posts that have been added recently for the HVAC system. Also, there's a cluster of duct segments that have been brought in, ready to be installed. Now if we look at the headquarters building, the framing can be recognized when we compare it to the concept art. Notice this slant on the left side of the building. Here's the same portion of the building on the concept art. Next, the structural framework located here will help create a slant edge on the building. On the concept art, it's located here. The quinjet that will eventually be located on the top of the building will be placed above the beams approximately here. Phase 1 of Avengers Campus is definitely coming along. Well, that's a taste of things to come.
We can't wait to see what they build next.